Islamic, where there is a semblance of equality between the genders. I think it's not an outlier, it appears to be the norm.
Current society is not Islamic. I agree with you. People are not implementing Islam. So we should, to give you an example, so we have a brilliant highway code that is modified and improved to a point where we want to make our roads safe. And then we find certain outliers messing around with the highway code, driving the other way, not stopping at the red light. Now, are we going to now change the highway code for them, or do we want to change them to stop misbehaving? We need to correct those outliers who are not following a tried and tested system of the highway code, which makes our roads safe for pedestrians and the commuters themselves. Islam, in its governance, when all the systems in place, education system, social system, criminal system, economic systems, when you are as a whole holistically applied, it has shown us evidence of history that it worked. It worked. It progressed and flourished. When the Queen of England didn't have a bath for a month, we had underground sewage system in the Islamic countries back then. Overground lighting system, right?
No. 3 stones.
Three stones, right? So this is how Islam flourished with science, technology, advancements, right? Because of how the Islam was implemented. So we see, because of some of the things I've alluded to already, the regime that has been in place, who are not implementing Islam. If you are not implementing Islam, you're implementing non-Islam. That's what the problem is. These non-Islam that you're going to implement will create problems and destabilization in the society, and it will create harm and corruption which you wouldn't see otherwise when the whole system is implemented in entirety. So we are struggling as Muslims to remove this oppression from our lands, from our ruling elites in the systems, to bring back Islam in its place. Because at one point, to give you an example, the 5th Caliph Abdul Aziz, he was trying to give charity, zakat, okay, charity, to poor people, and he couldn't find people to give it. So today, look at how many people are poor.
Only for Muslim.
Just look at it. Today, so many people are poor. You mentioned an imbalance and disparity is so big.
Only for Muslims.
The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. But Islam, when it was implemented, the Khalif, the ruler of the country, was finding difficult to find.
Don't lie, please. Don't lie. Don't lie.
The thing is, if he lies, I can just go on.
The historical figure.
No.
Thank you.
No. He is saying,
thank you.
This charity they are collecting, and they are collecting only for Muslims.
I can do my own research.
Abdul Aziz, yeah?
Only for
Abdul Aziz. So you can research about his life and his political activities. So he was finding it difficult to find someone to give this zakat. Because the system of zakat, the charity tax, is such that every Muslim, after a certain amount of wealth, they are obliged, mandatory for them to give 2.5% of a surplus wealth to the poor and the needy. Everyone has to do that. So when this is then collected by the state level, it's a lot of money, 2.5% of the wealth, and distributed to the poor have their rights and their shelter, and so on and so forth. And not only that, of course, this is an additional bonus. Society, governments need some kind of taxation to function, right? They collect all this tax and so on. So this, excuse me,
money,
if you don't
money
mind.
is going.
So when Islam collects
the terrorism,
mandatory charity from the Muslims,
the money is going to
in the Baitul Mal, in the treasury, it's a large portion of money with its other
those who are
facilities and contributions. It will implement a system in which the poor will have a house over their head, food on their table, yeah, education for their children, and so on and so forth. That will be the basic, the minimum thing that they will have. But unfortunately, it doesn't.
I will determine for myself
So
So I agree with you in many ways. There are Muslim countries because Muslims live there, but they're not Islamic countries where Islam is implemented in its entirety. They are implementing usury and interest and so on. It's like
So stepping away from all the charity stuff, which I completely, that's fascinating, thank you. In terms of the gender imbalance, can I just understand the stance here? Is it that essentially the countries that we see in the Middle East and also in Africa, the huge gender imbalances, is that the stance that they're not actually implementing Islam correctly? Is that correct?
Because Islam does not discriminate them, because Islam did not prevent women, for example, having their own business. Just to give you an example.
That's a lie.
Islam says, according to Islamic law,
Come on.
if there is a husband and a wife, for example,
That's why.
and a wife has a business,
The woman
and she's a billionaire,
cannot
the husband cannot touch even 1 cent or 1 penny from her. If she wants to give her 1 penny or £1 billion, that's up to her. He can even touch her. She can if she wants to run a business and so on and so forth. But what Islam encourages, that the business that you're going to do in public, it has to be in a way that is convenient for her, not somewhere where you have to mix man and woman and dress in your bikinis, whatever. It has to safeguard herself in the way she will interact with society. So Islam does a lot of preventative work, because Islam considers prevention is better than cure. So the way we dress, the way we look at man and woman is to do with preventing all of that. So as an economic entrepreneur and so on, she can be if she wants to. But if she doesn't want to work, she doesn't want to study, she wants to do self-study, whatever, she wants to live in the house and she says, provide me all of that. I need X, Y, Z, I need this, I need that. The man, the husband, has under the obligation to provide her all of that. The man has to provide her and make her happy with, if she wants, like, I don't like this house, give me another house, you've got money. Well, he's under the obligation, because that's how he's going to make her happy. So the man is the one, that responsibility, additional responsibility of maintaining, supporting, taking care of the woman. But the woman, if she doesn't want to, she doesn't have to work. So
that sounds pretty unequal to me. I think there should be more rights for men.
No, she doesn't. No, Islam considers man and woman are geared differently. Islam considers the reality of their makeup. Woman can multitask, man cannot. So you cannot just praise a man saying, "Yeah, you're better than women." No, you're not better than women in multitasking. Women are. So you have to give the right words due. When Islam says men are more in the physique, more muscles and so on and so forth, let them do all the laborious work and so on, and let's spare the women. You can't say this is imbalance, because that's how it seems to be fair, because of their physical makeup and their psyche and
why they can't study
Islam
together?
takes into account that differences. So that's why we say, in general, Islam seems to agree with equality, but it goes one step further. It says no. It goes over and says no. Equitable treatment. So, you know about equity? The seat in the bus, you and I are there, and he's an old man, he can't stand. Equality means, if I got it first, I can sit. I don't have to stand up. But equity means he deserves to be on that seat. So Islam gives you equitable treatment to men and women and so on and so forth.
Subhanallah.
Thank you very much. That was very insightful.
Tilly, nice talking to you. My name is Mansur. I don't shake hands.
Oh, look at this.
Physical touch.
Discrimination here.
You would agree why we
discrimination here. Discrimination. That is discrimination.
It's their religion, and I respect that.
That is discrimination.
Where can we find the Quran?
That is called discrimination.
Where is the Quran?
That is called discrimination.
Where can we find the Quran? Show the Quran to all Muslims here. Mansur, where is the Quran? Where is the Quran? These lies are up to here.